Thank you for sharing these important lessons. I will continue with your experiences with the Tern. And you joined the Tern at the end of 2019 as a partner and also investment director. And the Tern invests in proven IoT and Deeptech technologies. Would you please tell us a little bit about the history of Tern and your investment thesis?
Yep, sure. So Tern was founded in 2014. It was a very small VC. So it was started from a shell company that was already listed on AIM. So they created it, and the shell company was doing something completely different. So it was transitioned into a venture capital firm investing in the IoT sector. Originally in the UK, that has changed now, but they invested in 3 or 4 companies to begin with, in different ways. Focused specifically in the IoT sector, at seed stage, so early stage, with a model of being very hands-on with their portfolio companies. So, much like the model that I helped to create at Breed Reply, they were loosely doing that already, but in a more ad hoc manner. It wasn't nearly as structured as what it was at Breed. Now we invest in IoT and Deeptech companies. We invest at a seed stage, and seed is MVP pre-at revenue. So you have some customer validation, and that doesn't mean that you've got paying customers that are driving MRR already. What that means is that you've gone out to your early products, and you are able to get customers interested in the product and proposition that you are developing. That model has evolved. I joined them in late 2019, and they're a small venture capital firm, but growing. They had 6 portfolio companies at the time. We have 6 portfolio companies at the moment, with 1 exit last year, and we will be looking to grow that significantly this year as well. So COVID and last year was a slightly different year for the VC space. We did look at investing in a good number of companies, but we didn't invest in as many as what we had originally planned.
And how does Tern evaluate potential startups? And what are the common reasons for Tern to invest and reject certain startups?
So, our process, if I start with our process, we get a lot of deal flow organically through our network. Very well networked through our entrepreneurial past, and my partner Al, our CEO, lives and is currently trapped in Silicon Valley. The other 4 partners are based here in the UK. We invest in UK and European startups. We don't invest in US startups, and our goal is to help them grow and build their propositions, along with our investments. And we invest in IoT and Deeptech companies. We get a lot of propositions, and we get a lot of propositions that aren't necessarily in our market, from beauty salons to nail bars and property investing and all kinds of different things. Whereas if you look at our website, it should be pretty self-explanatory exactly what we do. So it's very easy to weed out about 60 to 70% of the companies, due to stage, due to the wrong industry sector, due to them being located outside of our our geographic remit. And a lot of times it's that simple. Even though you might have a really good company, you've got to set boundaries and focus. So of the remaining, one of the partners will spearhead looking at them, understanding their deck, understanding their proposition. And if it is something that is that partner feels is investment worthy, they will bring them in to pitch to all of the partners, to all 4 partners in a session. And based on that, we will determine whether that is something that we will look to continue to dig deeper into and to evaluate, and perform some initial lightweight due diligence on. And then if we get through that stage, we will build a proposition and an investment case and take it to IC, to the investment committee. And if the investment committee agrees, then we'll do some more detailed DD, and and give you an example of a clean tech company that we're looking at the moment. Clean tech space that we are looking at, we are not experts in this specific sector. So we brought in a specialist who is an expert, and we engaged them to do technical due diligence and generate a technical due diligence report for us, and present that to the four partners, so that we had a report presentation and a Q&A session where we looked at the technology merits, we looked at the market timing merits, and we looked at the ability for that company to develop the technology, get that technology into the market, and scale it. So, and that's taken, we engaged with them probably in late November, and we are at a stage now where we are getting to a point where if we decide to proceed, we will be taking it to IC. So it does vary, and timeframes do vary, depending on the company and the stage and their status. So it's hard to put just a generic time frame and process, because it depends on what we need to convince ourselves and to create the investment case that this is an investment that we want to make.